Hello, everyone. I'm Ron Lighthall, and I'm alongside Terry Spain, and welcome to the Orlando Storm Report. Terry, welcome.
Hey, I'm glad to be here. We're 4-0.
4-0.
I'm all smiles.
I tell you what, I tell you, I was so glad to see the victory, not just for the sense of the victory, but the week prior, under those odd circumstances of which they won in overtime, this legitimized that win that they beat, decisively won against Birmingham. So I was glad to see that.
Yeah, I think this win actually shut down the naysayers. There were a lot of people that said, well, they haven't played anybody, but you only can play who's ever on your schedule.
Right.
Every team is going to have an opportunity to play each team in the league. But it just so happened that they played one team twice and they beat them twice.
I tell you what, I liked the game. I liked the way they played. I think there was too much attention put on AJ McCarron, and boy, he is getting hammered on the socials. What a really decisive win for Anthony Becht and the Orlando Storm. After the game, you got to talk to Anthony,
Yeah.
and they were very proud about the way they played, but they made a lot of adjustments.
Yeah, he was definitely proud. He was definitely proud of the defense too. When you shut out a team, that was the first time ever in UFL history that a team was shut out. And when you're able to shut out a powerhouse team like the Stallions, that speaks wonders. So he was definitely all smiles, but he did put the onus back on the fans to come out and support this next game.
Now, moving forward, the Birmingham Stallions aren't going to be the same team.
No, they're not.
They liked Orlando's performance so much they took one of our quarterbacks.
Yeah. I mean, it was a smart move, though. I mean, they obviously was not happy with their quarterback play. And when you got DTR, who's a heck of a quarterback who was drafted in the NFL, and you have him sitting on a bench and he's not being utilized, yeah, Birmingham was like, yeah, we'll take him for 100, please. Yeah, and so that's what they did. They traded him and another player, and the
Matt
Stallions,
Matt Corral,
and a defensive player, and which was actually smart for them.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was. The 2-for-1 deal that Orlando gave up. DTR was going to spend a lot of time on the bench, but like you said, he is way too talented for that. He needed to be on a team where his leadership and his skills could be utilized to the best of the ability, which is ultimately going to help the entire league. It's going to be
Yes.
a good product. Matt Corral, he struggled, but he established himself that he's going to be a solid backup.
Yeah,
So
he,
in the event that they do have to rotate a quarterback in.
Yeah, he doesn't have to be the man. And I actually texted DTR to give him some words of encouragement. So that was good for me to do that for him because I know when you get traded, but you also wanted to be the man. Now he gets to be the man. And like I said, he's a good kid, good young man. And I'm definitely happy to see that he's able to get his start.
And Coach Beck had nothing but nice things to
Of
say about
course.
him. He said he handled it like a true professional. So good on DTR, and best of luck to him. But he's now the enemy, so hopefully we won't be seeing him or his arm in the playoffs. So
I know. I think we got to play him one more time, though, right? So
I believe so.
yeah.
Yeah, and when the way the rotation, but we'll be playing them at home. But from here on out, we'll be at every game.
Yeah.
So we have solidified our away games. But this coming week is going to be the biggest real test that the Orlando Storm
Mhm.
have faced. They're only going to see the Battlehawks once this year. Lucky enough, it is at home. We really need the Orlando community, the Space Coast community. We need the entire Central Florida area to show out for this game because this is going to be one heck of a matchup. Birmingham's coming in with a chip on their shoulder. They don't like playing second fiddle in this league to anyone, let alone an upstart like Orlando Storm. And Orlando wants to assert and prove its dominance in this league. So these teams are going to be hyped.
Yeah, and they're going to be hunted. The Storm will because they're the only undefeated team, and they have a little braggadocious rights about them now that you should be able to stick your chest out because you're the only undefeated team. So there's going to be a lot of people gunning for them, and the Battlehawks is going to be one of those teams.
At first they came in and as an upstart team, you're like, oh, where's this team going? And that swagger has kind of slowly changed. And now, like you said, they've got that bravado, they've got that swagger, they've got that confidence. But the Battlehawks, they're time tested, man. They are a good football team. Right now, they're sitting at 3-1. That one loss did not sit well with them, their fans, their coaches, the team, and they're out for a vengeance.
Yeah, I mean, but they're going to have their hands full as well. A lot of the Storm is not going to roll over and play dead. They have a lot of energy, but you're right, they have a lot of great players on their team. But so did Birmingham.
Yes, they did. So the St. Louis Battlehawks come in. They're averaging 24 to 26 points per game. They have a top tier rushing attack. Defense is allowing roughly 18 to 20 points per game. Orlando, who's averaging 20 to 22 points per game, they're a more pass heavy approach, and their defense is giving up closer to 23 to 25 points. So that's dangerous for Orlando. That is not a good tail of the tape, if you will.
Yeah, and when I was doing my research, I noticed that the running backs, I looked at who were leading the league in rushing, and Jason Corbin is second in leading the league in rushing, and Plummer is second in leading the league in passing. So if you got those two weapons right there, and I think that's one of the things that they're going to try to hone in a little bit more this week is to get the running game going, even though it's been steady. But I think this is going to be a breakout and blowout game for the running backs.
I think the Battlehawks secondary is critical for them. I mean, they are built around that. They keep play in front of them. They don't allow the big play behind them. So they keep that play in front of them. So when you get on the ground, you're not going to get that big run. I mean, you're going to have to really chew up some yardage. You're going to have to chew up the ground in order to move that ball progressively against a team like the Battlehawks. But you also look at the fact that they have strong safeties, so that limits your the play, the action that's going to go on in the secondary with your receivers and limiting those receivers.
Yeah, and this is going to be a true test for the receivers, even though we have some really good receivers and they've been catching the ball the entire time that this league has started. But they're going to have their hands full with the secondary for the Battlehawks, as you mentioned before. But this is you're right. This is definitely going to be a true test for them, and I'm anxious to see how they're gonna perform in front of this home crowd.
What they have to do is they have to eliminate these third and fourth down conversions. They've got to move the ball in bigger chunks on first and second down because they've relied too much on third and fourth down conversions this year. And I don't think the Battlehawks are going to be that friendly when it comes to their defense up front and allowing that like Birmingham did. And, that was one of the vulnerabilities Birmingham had is they were giving up third down conversion, long third down conversions and then short fourth down conversions.
Yeah, and one of the keys to the game last week when you asked me about what would be the need for the Battlehawks, I mean for the Storm to win, is that the front line. The front line did a pretty decent job, and they're gonna have to do that exact same thing again against the Battlehawks because I think they're gonna see a lot of blitzing again.
And the Battlehawks do like to run the ball. They average around 4.5 to 4.8 yards per carry, and they use a steady dose of inside zone and power concepts. So those guys on defense up front are really going to have to be real plumbers. I mean, they've got to
Yeah.
they've got to close those holes and fix those leaks real quick. For Orlando, they have flashes of disruption. They
Mhm.
can break up a big play and disrupt what normally would be an easy conversion for a lot of teams. They have that disruptive ability, but they also struggle in the gap when it comes to the discipline and missed tackles. I mean, they have got to clean up their tackling because a team like the Battlehawks coming in, they've got to wrap up. They have got to get those guys, and you can't let somebody by you. You have to wrap up and clean up that tackle initially on contact.
Yeah, because if you do, you're going to be sitting on the bench with Coach Beck, and those guys know that because everybody's hungry to try to get into the game. So any minor mistakes, I mean, everybody makes mistakes, but if you make them on a repetitive basis, then you're going to find yourself sitting on the bench.
Yeah, and Beck has the talent though. I
Oh
mean,
yeah,
he's got guys that he can rotate in there. Next man up, is what they say. But Orlando's X factor, it looks like Orlando doesn't need 12 play drives because they can score in three, and they have to capitalize. Even if this becomes like a war of attrition where they're kicking field goals, each one of those field goals is going to really eat away at the score. And they've proven that they can win with a lot of field goals.
yeah. I mean, that's a luxury to have. Even I mentioned that on numerous occasions. No one really knows how important a kicker's job is until you really need him. And he showed out that last game. I was really impressed with his leg. He's got the distance. He can kick from anywhere. He had that one mistake in one of the previous games where he missed a
Against Louisville,
yeah, he missed
a 10 yarder.
yeah. But he learned from that,
He did.
and
He
he did
did.
an absolute job last week.
And I tell you, I was there in
Yeah, you
Louisville
sure
for that
were.
game, and
Front row seat.
there were gusts of wind. I mean, there that not to make that an excuse, but he was kicking into the open end of the field. I mean, it was gusty,
Wow.
so you can understand. Not to make excuses. I mean, you have to adjust for that, but that's how a 10-yarder can be easily missed. But somehow he was nailing you know, 40, 45, 52, 57. He's consistent
Yeah.
with with his legs, so he has the distance. But I tell you, they're going to have to capitalize and score virtually every position, whether it's a field goal or a touchdown. They have to score.
Yeah, I mean, and I'll be honest with you, their defense has been looking pretty good. So they're giving those opportunities for the offense to come and score. The special teams played a key role in that last game, and I project that the special team will play again a key role because they were cooking on and clicking on all cylinders last week. I was all smiles watching that game because I knew how important that game was, and they didn't give them that. They didn't give them that respect. And so for them to win that game and shut out the Birmingham Stallions, I was all smiles.
Yeah, and I tell you, I totally agree. One of the things that the Storm haven't faced yet is a team that is just absolute ball hawks. I mean, these guys will strip balls, they'll intercept balls, they'll knock down balls, but keep them in play, and that can be dangerous for Orlando. I mean, they've got to recover fumbles. They've got to
Mhm.
eliminate, and Jake Plummer is again. We've said this. I mean, he is a surgeon on the
It
field.
sure is.
If he breaks out of the pocket, he has got to be a little calmer with his flow with his throws because he cannot get erratic. I mean, he did get a couple of lucky throws in the last couple of games that he was able. His receivers, with their talents, were able to get that. But he has got to be able to lock on his target. He has got to be able to get that throwing motion in full motion because he cannot have any errant throws because the Battlehawks will capitalize.
Yeah, that starts up front. The offensive line gotta secure him and make sure that he's not getting sacked or not making any of these sporadic plays or decisions that's gonna hurt the team ultimately. But if the offensive line holds up, he shows up.
And 3 weeks ago, we sat in this studio and we talked about Orlando facing Louisville for the first time. And the term we used, it was going to be, chaos versus discipline.
Hmm.
And now, with Orlando being the discipline and the chaos and the broken plays with Bean, who's now, going to be wearing a different helmet this weekend as well. But the fact that Orlando was the disciplined team and Louisville was considered the chaos team with broken plays and making something out of nothing, that role has flipped. I
Yeah.
mean, Birmingham or St. Louis is coming in as the more disciplined team historically right now, going back to last year, the year before, and of course they had a great coach last year,
And we're glad to have him now.
and
Yeah.
we're glad to have him now. But their discipline that they're showing this year is a notch above Orlando's, and Orlando has been now going to be that team making something out of nothing. So you kind of see how the filters work as far as week to week and how they're performing.
I have to be honest with you. I'm really glad that we're playing this game in Orlando Vice, the Battlehawks. You've never had
Oh,
that
the dome
opportunity.
is tough.
Yeah, if you never had that opportunity to go yet, but I'll tell you, those fans, they show up and they show out and they're loud. So for us to be able to have this game here in Orlando, I'm extremely happy about that.
We really need Orlando to show out. The fans have to come out, and I know that the entertainment attention early in the day is going to be clearly with the Orlando Magic, just a
Yeah,
block down the road.
yeah.
And when they come out of that stadium, there's no excuse to head right on down.
I'll tell you what, if you're in Orlando that day, this is an opportune time for you to capitalize on sports at its highest because you have basketball and you have professional football playing on the same day. So this is a great opportunity to come on out. And to be honest with you, if you cannot go to the Magnus games because those tickets are going to be pretty
Oh
expensive,
yeah.
you can go to the Storms game and they're literally right down the street from each other and be able to take a whole family out there and just enjoy professional football and you're the only undefeated team.
Yeah, and I tell you, they have played great. But so the prediction is, I think this game's going to be extremely close. I hate to say it, but mathematically, if I was a betting man and didn't care about either one of these teams, I really see St. Louis coming in with the edge.
Hmm.
I think they're hungrier, but it's going to be very close. Orlando has to play better than they did last week. They didn't have a perfect game. They had a shutout, but I don't see them as the perfect game yet, and that still eludes them. So they got to come out. They got to play penalty free. They got to play near perfect to beat to beat the Battlehawks. And the Battlehawks are a very very tough team. This is going to be a true test for Orlando.
Yeah, and one of the benefits that you do have, I know all the teams usually practice out of Arlington, but it's going to be pretty warm that night, and the Battlehawks are used to playing in a dome, so fatigue kicks in even more, and so that's definitely probably a plus for the Storm if they can utilize that. But you're right, they do have a tough team to play against, but I think the home crowd is really going to feed off and help this team go to 5-0.
And I tell you, if they go 5-0, it changes everything. I mean, they come out with a victory against the Battlehawks. That's going to be their single most decisive win of the year, and it is doable. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
it is absolutely doable. Orlando has to control the chaos. I mean, they literally have to play like a storm.
yeah.
I mean, they have to be forceful, they have to be chaotic, but they have to also have direction, and they have got to keep their heads on straight and not let a loose wheel fall off.
Yeah, and they can't keep their eyes on the news. A lot of people saying they're the only undefeated team. So everybody, you're going to get everybody's best game because they want to be the ones that's going to knock off the undefeated team. So you got to come in there not too cocky, but come in there, take care of business, have your fans behind you, and then you roll right into the next game, and you're 5-0 already, and that's actually pretty good because that's half the season already.
Right.
So if you're 5-0, it's looking pretty good
Right.
because those teams that are 1-3, 1-4, they're probably not going to make the playoffs.
Right, because they're going to, they obviously take the top four,
Top four.
but a 5-5 team is going to be in the top four.
Yeah.
I mean, so you have to win that. I mean, yeah, essentially, what you're saying is they could literally clinch a playoff spot this weekend, halfway through the season, being the only team 5-0.
Yeah. Don't tell them that though.
Don't
Tell them to keep playing. Keep playing. Yeah.
We want to share something really unique with us, Terry. I'm going to reach back and I'm going to pull this forward, but
Yeah.
let's
We got
start
Blingy here.
with Blingy. I mean, what a beautiful gift that was. Tiana with her hard work there, and the reception he's getting. You can't talk about his celebrity enough.
Yes.
We already had a threat of a theft.
Yeah.
That Brooke Campbell, the head of marketing, said, "I'm stealing that." She looked me dead in the eye. She said, "Ron, when I see that, I'm stealing that." She absolutely loved it. So. That's a big deal coming from the head of marketing for the entire UFL.
Yeah.
And maybe Tiana's got something going there where she can really really explode with this, because I mean this is trophy level.
Of course.
It is absolutely beautiful.
When DJ Khaled approves, then you're good to go.
That is correct. But we also received another gift, and this is stunning. I mean, this is really really a neat work of art, and I'm going to kind of hold it up here to the camera, but this is three-dimensional die cut acrylic on the white acrylic die cut,
Yeah.
on the clear acrylic offset with this beautiful lightning work with the resin inside. I mean, what a beautiful piece. And I don't know if the camera's catching it, but it's a metallic purple and a metallic orange in there. This is beautiful. Tell us the story of this, because this is another gift for us who said, we love what you're doing.
We want to support.
Didn't like the attention Tiana's ball was getting, so she wanted to up the game, and we'll gladly take it. But this again is a beautiful piece.
Yeah, and we want to thank Crystal Venegas at It Needs Bling. She was able to put this piece together for us, and we want to thank you for doing this, because this actually is one of the centerpieces for all our Zoom calls when we have Zoom calls with Coach Beck. So they get the chance to see that as well. But this was class A. I was very impressed with this when the moment I saw this, and I said, "Wow, this is it."
This is sharp. And
Yeah.
you know what application I see for this? If you're in an office building, a lawyer that shares an office building with other people, man, this will really get you standing out. I mean, the offsets on there, like I said, it's dimensional, it's beautiful, and it's solid. I mean, that is a solid piece. So
Yeah.
so thank you, Crystal. It is it's amazing the people that have just reached out of the kindness of their heart. And again, while I'm reaching back there, I want to thank Zoa.
Yeah.
I mean, they were the first ones that really stepped up. Brandon said, "Hey, man, I love what you guys are doing. let's get you some product. So
Yeah.
we're able to give away Zoa by the cases. This week we had a big deal because
Huge,
Junkless.
huge deal.
Junkless signed on, and of course, Junkless is a UFL sponsor. They agreed to send us product that we can do as well. So, two of the biggest sponsors that the UFL have reached out to us and said, "We love what you're doing. Let's get you some product in your hands." So they sent us cases as well, so you can see the Junkless there. It is the granola bars, the protein bars.
I want to try them all.
You want to try them all, man?
Yes.
And they sent us a sample pack, and I got boxes at home that they had sent. But we also want to thank them because they also provide a link, and I'm going to put it up here on the screen. If you go to junklessfoods.com/pages/UFL, and you'll see it right there on the top of the screen, they have 50% off tickets.
Yes.
So you can go on there, whether you're Orlando Storm, as soon as you open that pages, it pops up and you pick your team, you pick the game you want to go to. So whether you're on vacation, you're looking at it and say, hey, I'm going to be in the Birmingham area,
Let's catch a game.
Catch a game. You're going to be in Louisville, you're going to be in Texas, you're going to be in Houston. And we want to thank our sponsors that came on board as well early on for us that were financial sponsors. And first, I want to thank Toyota of Melbourne for making everything possible. I want to thank Kenny Lopez out there and Chris Hines, who have been absolutely fantastic. And they sponsor our On the Road, which next week we're going to be on the road in Houston. And we're going to be, we got the little Toyota here. This is a little replica of my truck, my little gray Tacoma.
That's pretty cool.
And so we want to thank Toyota. And of course, you want to thank your big sponsor that you pulled in as well.
Yeah, State Farm, Robin Fisher. We want to thank you for definitely being able to step up and say, yeah, I want to definitely support you. I like what you all are doing. He has USFL ties, so he was definitely excited to come back and be able to support someone like us who is actually bringing the message about football. And he said, I'm all on board, and you all have opportunity to see the photo that we took in front of his building, which was definitely a great photo. And then he loved this football. He was all in. He wanted to take it too. I think everybody in his office wanted to take it. I had to really kind of, make sure I had that before I left out of here. So
I've said it a half a dozen times. It's just, to me, it's our version of a Fabergé egg. It's just a jewel encrusted gem that is just beautiful. And everybody's reaction is the same when they see it. It's like, wow, that is stunning. So good on us. We got the sign behind us as well.
Yeah. Tom's Watch Bar. Definitely have to.
We got to thank Tom's Watch Bar. You're absolutely correct.
You have to, because they're the ones that support us, and they let us come in and they give us free range as to how, when we come in there and broadcast, they give us free range to come in there and do what we need to do. And they have everything already set up for us.
And I do want to throw a shout out, not a sponsor yet, but they are coming on board, and that's Foxtail Coffee.
Oh.
So Foxtail Coffee will be coming on board here shortly. And again, we'll be able to share product gift cards. When we build our gift baskets, we're giving away tickets. And with those tickets, you're getting Zoe, you're getting the Junkless, you're going to get a couple of cards for Foxtail Coffee. You're not getting blingy.
No, he's blingy stays with us.
But you have your opportunity to have your picture taken with him, so you can say you met him. But these sponsors are helping us put together a more comprehensive package for our fans and Orlando Storm fans. So thank you to all of our sponsors.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, I can echo those same sentiments. You couldn't have said it any better than that, because they said yes. There's a lot of doors that probably could have been closed from us, and when we asked, because it's real tough, trying to get sponsors. So for them to say, yeah, we're definitely grateful.
And I definitely want to thank Alan Slaughter-Zinski at Brevard Sports Network, who lends his platform to us as an additional beyond our social endeavors, which are Twitter, Instagram. We have our YouTube page. And of course, we broadcast on Brevard Sports Network, which is huge because, Alan owns the sports space in Brevard County. There is no denying that. And we want to thank him as well. So I'm going to give you the closing statement on what the most important thing going into this weekend is.
The most important thing is for you to show up. The Storm are 4-0. We need your crowd. We need your hype. We need your energy. We need everyone. But most important, we need you in those seats. Come on out. It's a good time. It's a Saturday evening. You can watch football and you can watch basketball all in one day. You can't get any better than that. See you there.
All right. We'll see you out at the stadium. I'm Ron Lighthall. Terry. Hey, thanks for joining us.